Hello and welcome to the Heel Turn Podcast for the week of October 28th, 2013. Nick can't be with us today, so it's just me and our wonderful technical producer,
Sensational Saucy, yay!
Woohoo! On this week's episode, we talk about the aftermath of
Heck in a Box.
Or as it's officially called, Hell in a Cell. And we also discuss,
What are we going to discuss?
Well, if Nick's not here, so I guess we'll just go right into our interviews with Canadian bombshell Jules Malone and CCW champion, I might add, one half of the Monster Mafia, Josh Alexander. Well, Sos, let's kick things off with the aftermath of
Heck in a Box. Did you watch
Unpleasantness in a Cage?
That's funny. Did you watch the pay-per-view?
I watched parts of it.
You didn't watch the pay-per-view.
I watched parts of it.
The parts that played in your brain?
Yes.
Or the parts that I told you about?
The parts that you told me about.
Because I barely watched it. I'm just going to be honest, because it was kind of...
It was not exciting at all. I did not want to watch it.
Yeah, and it was pretty predictable. The only thing I was a little iffy about was the chick match, but I was pleasantly surprised by that AJ is still Divas champion as she should be.
Yep.
Yeah, nothing much happened. Cena's champ, Randy's champ, LOLs all around.
Now, when it comes to Dusty Rhodes Cody Rhodes and his brother Dustin Rhodes, how did that match turn out?
They're still champs.
Woo!
Yeah, pretty much that. Like I said, I barely
now,
watched
Dean
it.
Ambrose,
I was so not into it.
Now, Dean Ambrose, I know he lost to Big E Langston, but the title did not change.
Nope, it was
count out, wasn't it?
Count out disqualification, something where he didn't lose his belt. Yeah. And Big E got a nice gash under his eye from Dean's teeth. The only blood in the entire Heck in a Box pay-per-view was accidental. From a botched, aggressive hug that he does.
Yeah.
No, actually, I think it was a clothesline. It wasn't the aggressive hug. He actually botched a clothesline, which is even
worse,
I believe.
Okay.
Anything else you want to talk about? You want to talk about how Cena won a belt after coming back? You want to talk about Shawn super kicking people in the face for messing with his wrestling wife? That was it.
No, because, yeah.
You want to talk about Raw where Daniel Bryan pushed Shawn Michaels in the yes lot? You don't want to talk about anything, do you? Let's get to the interviews.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, we're going to introduce our first interview of the night. Our interview with Canadian bombshell and CCW women's champion, Jules Malone.
Ladies and gentlemen, Heel Turn Podcast, I proudly present to you the one, the only, the Canadian bombshell, the CCW women's champion, Jules Malone. Jules, welcome to the Heel Turn Podcast.
Hey, thank you very much. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Doing pretty well.
Yeah?
Awesome. Jules, let's start off. This is a question I ask every guest of the Heel Turn Podcast. What inspired you to get involved with the wrestling industry?
What inspired me was my dad.
Oh, okay. And how much of an influence your dad was to get you into wrestling?
Well, he died when I was 10, and so...
Our condolences.
Thank you. So, yeah, after that, you know, he looked like a wrestler, and so I watched wrestling, and so I just kept watching wrestling and wanted to become a wrestler too, you know, and he always said to me, like, don't be one of those girls, and I'm like, no, and I'm like, inside my head, I was thinking, yes, I do want to be one of those girls on TV. And yeah, and before you know it, here I am right now.
Who was your favorite on TV?
My favorite is The Undertaker.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
My favorite ever is The Undertaker.
Okay, now, when you say the Undertaker's your favorite, were you the favorite Undertaker when he was putting people in the body bags, like back in the 90s? Or were you a fan when he was putting people in the caskets?
I think it'd be both.
Oh, okay.
The Undertaker himself.
Alright. Describe your training at the famous Squared Circle training facility with what I can't pronounce his name. Rob. I can never pronounce his name. I don't know how to pronounce it right.
Fuego. Yeah. Fuego.
Okay.
Yeah. So training with Fuego. It's oh, come on. It's really hard training, actually. I was surprised, and I don't know, what kind of details do you want?
Just basically tell us, what type of style he taught you during your time at Square Circle. What type of wrestling style? Was it American Strong style? Did he introduce Lucha Libre type style?
It was a combination of, like, American and, like, Lucha Libre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like, we could be doing... We're learning, like, we're doing, like, exiting arm drags from the top rope and, like, crazy stuff from the top rope, and then we're doing, like, big power moves and, like, in the center of the ring. Like, we're learning everything.
Oh, okay.
I think it's an awesome school, I swear to God.
Yeah,
I'm very happy that I trained there.
Yeah, a lot of famous indie wrestlers that came from the Square Circle, such as Josh Alexander, the Unbreakable Michael Elkin, and various other superstars.
All amazing guys.
Oh, yes.
All amazing guys.
Now, did you train with the guys as well?
Oh, absolutely. For a while, I was, like, the only girl there. And then there was, like, Felicia. And, yeah, there's only, like, one or two girls, like, there mixed in between, like, 15 students, So we're built to be strong, and and we fight like guys. We wrestle like guys. So we're pretty tough, and we're trained really well. Thanks to Rob Fuego and John Marquez.
Okay. And, Jewel, was there one particular male wrestler who just gave you grief every day coming to the training facility?
Pardon me?
Was there any guys that gave you any sort of grief when you came in for training every day?
Not any guys that gave me grief.
Okay.
I don't know. Not really. Like, people will I ignore people because...
Of course you should ignore people. Forget you.
I ignore people. I don't care what people say about me because, like, who cares? Who cares
I'm
what
of the
people
same,
think about me?
I'm of the same philosophy.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I could hear, like, as I'm struggling trying to do, like, take a fireman's carry.
Right.
Like, people are chuckling in the back. I'm like, I don't care. Like, fuck you. I don't care. It's gonna happen. Right?
Right.
I'm gonna get it, and then I get it, and then whatever. And so here I am. I can do fireman's carry. I can take it. Like
Right.
the small things, like small boundaries.
Joel, can you tell our podcast audience? Can you describe your very first professional wrestling match?
My first match was actually with Tomer Shalomer.
With who again? I'm sorry.
Tomer.
Okay.
Yeah. That was my actual first wrestling match ever. Ever. And that was at Squared Circle.
Oh, okay.
And it's an amazing match. And I beat him. That's all I have to say. I was over. I went over. You have to look it up on YouTube.
Okay.
What was the toughest wrestling promotion you've ever competed in Canada?
The toughest?
Yeah, as far as either fans or opponents that you've faced, because I'm sure you don't have trouble winning over a crowd.
Yeah, it's true. I honestly, I can't even answer that question because, like, they're gonna love me or they're gonna hate me.
That's very true.
I'll be an asshole or I'll be like a really nice girl. You know?
Okay. Now, Joel.
And they're gonna react to like whoever Jules Malone is that day. You know,
Okay.
if I'm gonna be like heel, I'm gonna be like, fuck you, I'm in your face, or I'm gonna be like, yeah, what's up? High five.
Now,
You know?
do you enjoy being a heel or a face?
Truthfully, oh, jeez, it's so hard to decide, or like to. Oh, it's really hard to decide like which one, because like there's benefits to both.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely benefits to both. Me personally, I'd rather be a heel. I think there's more freedom being a heel than opposed to being a face. And you have to be very reserved and all that type of crap. I'd rather be a heel.
I'd rather be a face who's getting over by being a heel that he's not realizing it.
No, be honest, Al. You want to be a John Cena type face where you go panhandle to the kids and everything, and have
Nick, I don't like children.
Have women like Jules Malone scream your name. Oh, Al!
I couldn't care less.
Yeah, right.
No offense to you, Jules. I'm married.
Okay.
Jules, can you describe your moment when you first won the CCW Women's Championship?
Can I describe the moment?
Yeah.
Sure, I put my boot into Evelyn's face. Just like that.
How did it feel? I mean, did you have a huge sense of accomplishment?
Yeah, I was just like, okay, I just put my boot into chick's face, knocked her out, and here's my belt. Ta-da!
Exactly. That's how it should be done.
Yeah.
Hey Jewel, we saw in your history here that you competed for Combat Zone Wrestling and WSU.
That's right.
Tell us, how did it feel competing for Combat Zone Wrestling down in New Jersey?
I absolutely love it down there. Those guys are like so amazing. It's like I love being around those guys.
I know next week we'll be sitting down with DJ Hyde, the boss down there, and he's one amazing guy.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I like him.
Now,
He's a tough guy. I like him.
yes, he is. Now, is the style down there at Combat Zone Wrestling different from what you experience at the Square Circle or experience at CCW?
There's small differences, but like nothing too crazy. I'd say they're pretty similar.
Oh.
And their styles. But I haven't like honestly I can't base an opinion on that.
Okay.
Because I can't say enough to say anything for that. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. According to your website, you had ambitions of traveling over to Europe and Japan. Why do you want to travel abroad?
Why? Because why not?
That's what I just said.
Now,
Exactly. Why
now,
not?
now, do you
it?
have ambitions of maybe going over to Japan and face some of the Japanese wrestlers over there to gain more experience?
Yeah, of course. I just need to find some time. It sucks up here.
Now,
How bad does it suck up in Canada? You guys got free health care.
I know, it's just like my job. Like, my job right now sucks so much. I work too much. So, I don't get enough days off.
Okay.
I'm going to be that boss. Thanks.
You know what? I also saw on your website you want to move to Texas. Now, why are you guys saying you want to move to Texas of all places?
Why not? Stop burying Texas. They're one of our best demographics.
Texas is too freaking hot. That's the problem with Texas.
I like the heat.
You do?
I do.
She's Canadian, of course.
I'm not happy wearing winter jackets. I'm not happy. I'm not pleased at all. I like vacations all day, every day, for the rest of my life. I do not like the cold at all.
Well, at least in Texas you don't have to pay state income taxes. The taxes are low.
Yeah.
You know what? Quit burying the Canadian government, sir.
Hey, the Canadian government takes over half of their money to pay for their crappy health care.
Better than what we have.
Jewel, how often do you attend WWE live events up there in Canada?
If it comes to Toronto, I'm going to be there.
So you were there when Edge was there?
Yep, I was there. If you go on my Twitter, you'll see pictures. I was like right up in the nosebleed section with like a lot of the other guys in the NBC. We were all there. We're giving high fives over top of people, and like "Hey, what's up? Ah, wrestling!" You know, just like everybody else. We're just like everybody else. We all want to be there. We're all there.
So you were there when Asylum was going into the ring
in September?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Nice. I'm sure you were one of the many, many Canadians chanting Asylum's name.
Joel, give us your thoughts on the current state of the WWE Divas division. What do you think of the Divas in WWE right now?
I think they're getting better. I'm really impressed by them.
They are.
You know, and I think it's getting better. That's all. I'm thankful for that. So I think there's a lot of good stuff coming. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Now, if you could face one diva in the WWE, who would you face?
I would probably just knock out AJ.
Yes.
So sorry.
So you're willing to step in the ring with the crazy chick?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And WSU alum.
Yes, exactly. And you're willing to face AJ and her bodyguard Diesel. I mean Tamina.
Yes.
No.
Just kidding.
Now,
have you ever been? Have you been approached by Shine or Shimmer yet?
There's been a little bit of talk here and there, yeah, but nothing confirmed.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
What do you think of the TNA Knockout division? Are you impressed with them, or there need to be some improvements with them?
Some.
I think with the TNA division, I haven't actually had a chance to see them, but
you're not missing nothing.
No? Okay.
No, you're not missing anything.
No?
No.
You missed an empty house.
Really?
They're bound for glory.
Well, Canada's own Gail Kim did win the Knockout Championship.
Oh my God! Why not?
Yeah, she won it last Sunday night at Bound for Glory.
Okay.
So yeah, Al, there is something to smile at if you're from Canada.
Yeah, Gail Kim, and I love Canada. I'm like Kevin Smith. I love Canada. Not so much hockey.
Joel, are you a hockey fan?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you cheer for the Maple Leafs, correct?
I will if they win.
Well, at least I'm a Blackhawks fan. We got something to cheer for in Chicago.
Exactly.
You're from Michigan. You should be a Piston. No, not Pistons.
No, exactly. You don't know your sport, so
I don't
even try.
Red Wings.
You don't even try.
I need to be drug out to the street and beaten for that.
That's very true. You should be. Jules, do you have any events coming up?
Yes, I do. I have an all-girls tournament this weekend It's for PWA in Kitchener, Ontario. Weekend after, November 10th. It's in Toronto Death Proof Fight Club. I base Crazy Mary Dobson. Okay. And the weekend after, I am in. Oh shoot! I think it's.
Look at your sticky notes.
I know. I'm trying to find it. Underneath the gimmicks, I just unpacked from None of It last night.
Oh wow!
How'd you do?
How did you do?
Oh, None of It was great. Oh my god. None of It's another story, so we can talk about that next time if you want.
Oh, okay, deal.
Heck yeah, man. We definitely want you to come back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Joel, one more thing. And this is probably a no-brainer type question. Do you have ambitions of coming to WWE?
Yeah, sure, why not?
If you did come to WWE, what would be your new ring name? Because you know they're going to give you a new name.
I think they would just leave it as Jules.
Okay, yeah, they would.
And they'd change the spelling.
Yeah, they would change the spelling. Somehow they're going to change the spelling.
They would probably just drop the L.
Probably. Just like, remember when Taz first came into WWE after he left ECW? And Taz was T-A-Z, and all the WWE did was add the extra Z. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he went from Taz to Taz.
Oh my goodness. Yep. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, that's just something that really stuck with me, because I was a huge ECW fan, and it just bothered me the whole time he was there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that sucks. I'm glad to see what happens.
Tell us more about the life and journey of Jules Malone. That we find very fascinating here on the Heel Turn podcast.
Thank you.
Jules, one more thing. I got to ask you this quick question. Did you catch Hell in the Cell last night by any chance?
No, I didn't. I was very sad about that. But I was sitting in the car with Jimmy Cordera's Arda Ocal and James. And so we were just like hanging out. Mm-hmm. And we were just sort of like experiencing that we were like going through tweets as we were like catching up with like all of our like data coming back on our phones from None of It. Oh, and then I fell asleep, so I haven't seen the results, so I don't want to hear anything about it.
Okay, I'll keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
I'll keep my mouth shut. The only thing you need to know is...
Thank you.
Yeah. You might be a little bit disappointed. That's all I got to say. I'm done.
Yeah. I heard about the tag match, the intergender tag match. What the hell?
Yeah, Summer Rae's debut match, yeah.
And then, is that... I can't even... I didn't even watch it, and it just thought of it, and it's just wrong.
Yeah, very.
Bad match. Why do that? Why do that?
I totally agree with you. Why?
It's just not right. I don't know. But no offense to whoever created that, because I'm sure you think you.
No. We say here on the Heel Turn podcast sometimes that the writers back there are basically idiots.
Yeah.
Well, Jules, thank you for coming on the Heel. Thank you for coming on the Heel Turn podcast and chatting with us. And like we said, we definitely want you to come back on.
Definitely.
And the next time you come back on, the title will be the Life and Tales of Jules Malone.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, we're gonna make that into a segment the next time you come back on.
Definitely.
Okay.
If your fans want to get in contact with you via social media, where can they reach you?
And then you can get me at Jules Malone. Twitter at JEWELLS Malone, MALONE. And you can get me on Facebook at Jules Malone. I just spelled it for you, so I think you get it.
Okay.
And you can get me on, if you want to watch any of my matches, there's some on YouTube also, and you can go on there and look me up. There you go. And I have a website too, julesmalone.com. And I have t-shirts coming soon. They're really hot. They're coming from Vegas. Very nice artist.
Nice.
Design with me. Yes.
Well, Jules, thank you so much, and this definitely completes part 1 of the life and tales of Jules Malone.
Thank you.
Alright, Jules, you have yourself a wonderful night. Go get you some rest. You've most likely earned it.
Thank you.
Alright, have a good night, Jules.
And we have a wonderful interview with Jules Malone. I enjoyed her very much, and I believe Nick had a good time talking with her as well. But without any further ado, we're going to also check in with Monster Mafia, one half of the Monster Mafia, Josh Alexander.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Heel Turn Podcast, I proudly present to you one half of the Monster Mafia and the walking weapon himself. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the one, the only, Josh Alexander. Josh, welcome to the Heel Turn Podcast, buddy.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
Alright, thank you for coming on, Josh. We're not going to keep you too long tonight, but I want to ask you the one basic question I ask every guest that come on the Heel Turn Podcast. What inspired you to get involved in the wrestling industry?
It was kind of by accident. I never did, like, the journeyman thing of the kid watching Hulk Hogan come out and wanting to do that and knowing that's what I wanted to do. That was never, like, the path I went down. It was more, I was a fan, and I wrestled in backyards and on my trampoline with my friends in high school. And when I went away to college, I had no idea independent wrestling existed.
Oh, wow.
And I was from a small town, so when I moved to a big city for university, I discovered there was training schools, and there was an outlet for me to athletically train and learn this craft, and it was something that, from day one after I stepped in the ring, I couldn't stop.
Awesome, man. Where did you go to receive your training to be a professional wrestler, Josh?
I was trained by Hotshot Johnny Devine, former TNA X Division champion.
Yeah, Johnny Devine.
Yeah, Hard Dungeon graduate. So, my training was tough, but, like, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Awesome, dude. And can you tell our podcast audience what was the toughest promotion you ever competed for in the United States and in Canada?
The toughest promotion, as in the toughest crowd?
Yeah, the toughest crowd or the toughest competitors you ever faced.
Well, I've told this story before, as embarrassing as it is, but my first year in wrestling, it was 2005, and I actually, unfortunately, went to CZW way too early, before I was even prepared, and I just remember that crowd tore me up pretty good.
Oh, wow.
So I'd say that Philly crowd from that ECW arena, it wasn't a pre-show match even, but, like, still, I wasn't prepared for it like I would be today. And, yeah, they let me have it. Rightfully so, though.
You said that was back in 2005, you said?
It was November 2005. It was me and Michael Elgin.
Oh, okay.
In a pre-show match.
Oh, all right.
I went by the name Jay Phoenix at the time, which is something I've tried to distance myself from. But,
it's
yeah,
not a bad
name.
name.
Coming up in wrestling and learning from your mistakes, right?
That's right, and that's not too much of a bad name. I mean, they could get you worse.
Oh yeah, but you know, it's just one of those experiences that I had to go through,
right?
So that I could kind of go home, lick my wounds, and then get more experience before I came back to the United States. And I think it's gone well the second trip now.
Awesome, dude. Big Al?
Hey, Josh. I just wanted to know how you got hooked up with Ethan Page from Monster Mafia.
Well, we actually came up in the same area. He started about 2 years after me, I believe. He was a little bit younger, and we hated each other's guts. We couldn't stand each other. Like, we would talk shit about each other all the time to our friends, mutual friends. And it just so happened that about 4 years ago now, he started running a promotion called Alpha One Wrestling up here.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't supposed to be booked, and they had a guy cancel last minute, and the only guy that they thought could fill the spot was me, even though he personally hated me. And I did that show, and everything went amazing, and we finally realized that we have a lot in common, and we became best friends and pretty much brothers ever since. And we decided to tag up and go to the United States because we knew that as a tag team, it's something that's lacking, especially on the independents.
Oh, yeah.
Real tag teams, at least. So it would be an easier way to get noticed for us, and we work really well together, so.
And it definitely shows, 'cause I have watched a lot of YouTube videos of you guys, and I was immediately blown away about how fluent you guys were in the ring as together as a tag team. So I'm very impressed with you guys.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we like to say that we complement each other's styles.
Oh, okay.
He makes up for the stuff I lack, I make up for the stuff he lacks. I'm a little bit more intense than him, he's a little bit more the jaw-jacker, you know. But we've been privileged to wrestle some really great tag teams, just some really great promotions across all North America now, so it's just a hell of a ride.
Awesome, dude. And can you describe the most memorable match the Monster Mafia been involved in the indie circuit?
It'd probably be a tie between the Young Bucks in Cali for IWL.
Okay.
And Red Dragon for Ring of Honor in Minnesota.
Oh, wow, yes. Yes, I heard about that matchup.
Like, we're huge PWG fans. Admittedly, we'll admit that we're marks for them, like every wrestler should be. That crowd's ridiculous, and when we heard we were booked against the Young Bucks, we were just floored.
Right.
Just to have that opportunity, right? And that and the excitement for that and the excitement for wrestling for Ring of Honor was, it's probably equal.
Okay. And speaking of Ring of Honor, how did you and Ethan came about receiving a Ring of Honor tryout match up in Minnesota?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's just because we've been traveling so much, especially to the Midwest and the East Coast. AIW, AEW, any promotion that would have us, and we've been pretty successful at all these promotions and made a pretty good name for ourselves. We have a pretty good following so far, and Ring of Honor took notice, and a couple of guys on the show on their roster had kind of put us over and said that we're good guys and that we work hard, and they gave us an opportunity when they had an open spot.
Awesome, dude. I know you guys supposed to have appeared at the Baltimore live event. What happened with that? I heard through rumors there were some travel issues.
Yeah, well, as Canadians, crossing the border to work in the United States is a bit of a tricky thing.
Right.
And we had trouble at the border for the first time in our career.
Oh, wow.
And it was just something that unfortunately happened at the time. And we've crossed since. Like, there was rumors going around that we were banned and that we were done in the United States, which we didn't silence any of the rumors because we knew we'd show up to AEW and surprise everybody.
Right.
And, yeah, it's just an unfortunate event that happened and something that we have to work past and try to move on from.
Right.
Josh?
It's always a crapshoot at the border.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It's even hard for a big ball black guy like myself to cross over into Windsor.
Yeah,
Not me,
absolutely.
because I've got the Michigan Enhanced License.
Yeah.
Josh, has Ring of Honor contacted you or Ethan about coming back?
We've had contact with them, but there's no bookings so far. We haven't heard anything. I know that we're going to keep plugging away like we were before, and we're going to keep making a name for ourselves, so hopefully everything works in the future.
I know our fellow podcast brothers, the Weekly Wrestling Podcast, really been campaigning to have Ring of Honor bring you guys back.
Yeah, there's some local fans up here from Hamilton that started up the podcast, and they're just two of the guys that are part of that following, like I said, that we've garnered.
Right.
And all the support we can get from everybody is, it helps us. It goes a long way.
Okay, well, just to let you know, you definitely got the support of the Heel Turn Podcast, brother.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it. Every little bit counts, man.
Heck yeah, man. Josh, you have a big event coming up on November 1st with Absolute Insane Wrestling. You be facing the Unbreakable Michael Elkin in a no time limit match. Can you give us some background surrounding that matchup?
Well, AIW's kind of been my home. They were the first guys to give me a start in America.
Mm-hmm.
A year and a half ago now. And it came up to the JT Lightning Invitational, and I injured my ear. And the whole story of the match is that Elgin, being a good friend, someone that I wouldn't expect to do any less than I would.
Right.
I wouldn't give him any breaks. He didn't give me a break, and he put me down. He gave me my first loss in AIW in almost a year.
Oh, wow.
So we came back from that at Absolution 8, and we had a 30-minute time limit draw. We beat the shit out of each other. Nobody could beat each other. And when it ended, instead of doing 5 more minutes, Michael Elgin said, why don't we do a no-time limit match and have a rematch when we both come back at 100%. So this is the match. This is the follow-up. No time limit to see if we can get it done. I don't know if we're going to go past 30 minutes like Absolution. It depends on both of us, but hopefully there's going to be a winner at the end of it, and we're going to see who the better man is.
Awesome, dude. Big Al?
Yeah, Josh, give us your prediction for the AIW Women's Championship match, Allison Kay versus Serena Knight. Who do you think will come out on top?
Actually, that match has changed, I do believe, to Allison Kay against Mischief. There were some travel issues with the other
So
girl.
it's Allison Kay and Mischief?
Yeah, I believe that's the match that's
That's
made.
going to be a good match.
Oh, crap. That's going to be a good one, Josh. Who do you think?
Either one.
Do you think...
Well,
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
every time I'm going to pick Allison Kay.
Okay. Awesome.
Every single time, hands down. She's, as a professional wrestling fan, I'm a fan of her.
Okay.
So I will support her. I'll back her every single time.
Awesome, dude. And can you explain to our audience the purpose of the AIW Double Dare Tag Team Tournament?
The Double Dare Tag Team Tournament, I think AIW just, they wanted to try to showcase there's some pretty good tag teams out there that don't get showcased enough. Like, you hear about the Young Bucks, you hear about, like, all these tag teams that have notoriety from Ring of Honor or PWG.
Right.
But you don't hear about the lesser guys, like, that are tearing it up at AIW. Like, the Hooligans, they came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't really know them, and then I saw them, and they blew me away. Guys like Davey Vega and Matt Fitchett, they're awesome, and they need a place to be showcased. And Smart Video and AIW got together, and they decided to put it on IPW because I'm a fan of tag team wrestling.
Right.
Obviously, there's Monster Mafia. And I believe that wrestling fans want to see good tag team wrestling, so AIW is trying to bring it to everybody.
Awesome, man. Who do you think will win the tournament overall?
That's a really tough question. There's a lot of good teams. I really can't pick a winner right now.
Putting this man on the spot, Nick.
I would say it would be a really good story to see Euthanasia go all the way to the final and win it.
Awesome.
Being, the home guys from Cleveland, M-Dog, Matt Cross, and Josh Prohibition.
Josh, for the fans who don't live in the Cleveland, Ohio area, how could they be able to see this event?
You go to www.smartmarkvideo.com, and there will be an iPay-per-view hosted live Friday evening. I believe it starts around 7:30.
Okay.
Don't hold me to that. Please check the website first. And unfortunately, my match will not be on the iPay-per-view.
Oh.
As there are complications with Ring of Honor talent and iPay-per-views, but it will be on the replay.
Okay,
so
awesome.
if you order the iPay-per-view and you watch it, the replay that comes up 2-3 days later, you'll be able to see the match in full.
Okay. And Josh, you have another big event too coming up on November 3rd for Square Circle Wrestling against Brent Banks for the Premier Championship. I believe it's a best 2 out of 3 falls match.
Those are always
Yes,
brutal.
sir.
I believe they're the...
It's kind of my...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
It's kind of become my thing for Squared Circle. Every year they have their big show. It's a Premier Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
And last year I had a 2 out of 3 falls match with Michael Elgin, actually.
Oh, wow.
And I defended that title. And I've since lost the title to Brent Banks with the help of Jimmy Corderas and all these backhanded tactics. But now Jimmy's been banned from ringside for this match. Myself and Banks are going to go one-on-one, best 2 out of 3 falls. Yeah, the better man is going to win. Davey Richards is also on the show. Tadarius Thomas is on the show. Michael Elgin's on the show. It's a pretty stacked card. if you're out in the Toronto area, or you can travel to the Toronto area, I'd say it's a show to check out.
Awesome, dude. And we might get our Michigan Enhanced license and travel up to Toronto.
Yeah. Try to brave the border. There you go.
Josh, before we let you go, how can our fans reach you?
Through Twitter, man. That's the number one way. I'm very accessible. It's my thing. It's at walking_weapon.
I just love that Twitter handle, Walking Weapon. I just love it with a passion.
Yeah, dude, I'm seeing it all over all the other people I follow as well as you.
Good, man. And, hashtag Monster Mafia all over the place. We want to get out there. We want to get back to Ring of Honor, so.
Heck yeah, man. We're going to be starting the campaign after we record our podcast. Big Al got one more question for you, Josh.
Yeah, Monster Mafia sounds like it would be an awesome thing to have on merchandise. Do you have any merchandise for sale, sir?
Yeah, we have tons of merchandise. If you go to Ethan Page, I don't know the link off my heart. It's prowrestlingtees.com, and you just search out Ethan Page's page. He has all the Monster Mafia merch available there.
Awesome.
And do your new best friend, does he cut you in on at least 5% since everything's through his link?
Oh, it's at least 5%. I don't think it would be a very nice car ride if it wasn't.
Ethan, I thank you so much for joining us here on the Heel Turn Podcast. We wish you the best of luck this weekend. You got a very stacked weekend ahead of you. And like I said, we will be campaigning, hitting the Twitter feed, and try to get Monster Mafia back to Ring of Honor.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Josh Alexander. Thank you, sir.
All right, well, that'll about do it for this week's episode of the Heel Turn Podcast. Really not much to talk about.
There's totally stuff to talk about.
There was, but it wasn't interesting.
No fanfic fail this week because I've been reading good fic.
And nothing from me because, well, I've been really busy for the past week.
Being employed and whatnot.
Yeah. There is that whole sleep thing I like to do every once in a while. Well, you got nothing?
Nothing.
I got nothing. So, thank you for joining us for this brief episode of the Heel Turn Podcast. I am Big Al.
Sensational Sosie.
Have a week and get out of my ring.